Yeah, of course.
I'm here with artist, entertainer, director, and influencer Stretchie Lexx, also known
Yeah.
as Stretchy Main. How you doing?
What's going on, man? What's going on? I'm here. You know what I mean? We in the mix.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. I met you at No Jumper, and I followed you
Yeah.
on Instagram, and I was listening to your remix of Rick James. How did you approach making it your own
Yeah,
while
the Rick.
respecting the original?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So, my dad, he always listened to funk growing up. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was always listening to funk with him on the way to my grandma's house, out in California. I'm from Phoenix, so we would drive 5 hours. We would play different music in the car. So I always listened to different funk songs. And then I came up with he always liked Rick James, but, I paid homage with that, with the Dave Chappelle, of course, that big era that he had with the Rick James and everything. Dave Chappelle was a good comedian of mine. And just paid homage to Rick James. He was a legend. I liked the beats. It was funky. And I was like, shoot, I could rap. So why not put both of them together? Shoot.
That's amazing. Can you walk us through your creative process when you make music? I see you do like a lot of freestyles, such as your freestyle on Squabble Up. How do you prepare, get into that mindset?
Yeah. So how I prepare is, I gotta smoke. I end up I gotta smoke. I smoke. I get in the vibe. I come up with just things on the spot. You know what I mean? I record and engineer all of my stuff myself at the
Oh, wow.
house. So
Yeah.
I'm in the crib. So I get, I have the luxury of just, kind of being able to take my time with the things I want to say and stuff like that. I don't have to worry about studio time and things like that. So a lot of the times, that's why my bars and stuff come out pretty decent because, you know, um, I'm in there just thinking of stuff that I want to say without having to without having to rush the process. You know what I mean?
How do you blend your personal style with the influences you draw from artists like Rick James or contemporary collaborators?
Yeah, I draw my personal style with people like Rick James because Rick James, he was a player. You know what I mean? He was a super freak. He was a player. He get girls. He was always in the vibe in the scene. He was on some party type of time. And that's the same thing I'm on. Stretch Lex, it was originated from a Stretch Lexus limousine.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's where, it was long. It was a great time, fun energy. Same thing with me. Tall, good energy, fun, good time party, and that's what I'm all about. So Stretch Lexx, that's what I come up with. So anything flashy, kind of Hollywood, getting some girls, having a good time, having some drinks. That's what Stretch Lexx is all about. And Rick James is just like that. So
Yeah. Mentioning good times, at No Jumper, you were telling me you attend sex parties. How has this aspect of your life influenced your music, creativity, or outlook on art and culture?
oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Going to those, I was introduced to that lifestyle probably about 8 months ago. I just started, dealing with swingers and just different people out there, but I like the lifestyle and it keeps me frisky. It keeps me frisky, like Austin Powers. So that's what influences the music. It makes me keeps me fun and full of life. You know what I mean? Everybody loves it when they get some nice you know some nice ladies on them. So it
Yeah,
it, it,
yeah,
ref- it reflects in your music. You know what I'm saying?
most definitely. What role does personal freedom and expression play in both your lifestyle and your artistic work?
Personal goals and freedom.
Yeah, like what role does personal freedom and expression play in both your lifestyle and your artistic work?
Oh, it plays a big role. It plays a big role. That has a lot to do with who I am. Is I don't conform to nothing. I'm very free spirited. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to just be in a box. So being outspoken and free and having a good mindset as far as being open minded on a bunch of different topics and stuff. I feel like that's what keeps me going.
Looking through your Instagram, you have some affiliation with No Jumper, which is like, the biggest platform on the West Coast, well
Yep.
respected in the underground and hip hop scene. How has this connection impacted your career exposure?
Oh yeah, it connected me real well. It connected me very, very well. That's how I ended up getting a chance to go up there and compete with all the other hosts and stuff like that. Was because I was tied in with some people that was from the back scenes and stuff. Shout out to everybody down there at No Jumper. Shout out to Mikey. Shout out to Adam Lush. Everybody that was down there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? They've been constantly showing some love this way. And having me down there. Me and my boy Ray Measy, we down there for the 607 interview. Go check that out. It's on No Jumper. Uh, and yeah, we've been getting our stuff. I haven't got my official turn with No Jumper, but they've included me in certain things here and there, so I'm grateful for that.
Oh, that's all love, man. Like, what do you think about the intersection of music, culture, and alternative lifestyles in today's entertainment industry?
No, I think that there's so many different alternative, and I shoot video, so I deal with a lot of different artists. You know what I'm saying? There's a big Latin Chicano rap artist scene going on right now here in LA. There's different types of, you got hip hop, hip hop, then you got, alternative rap. You got a whole bunch of different stuff. And I feel like there's all of those different styles is what makes hip hop. And then that's you got all these different pockets of how people like to do their songs and stuff. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Whether if it's conscious hip hop or if it's some auto tune shit. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn. I'm gonna bump
Yeah, yeah, man. Most definitely, man.
it.
What's next for you creatively? Are there any upcoming projects or collaborations fans should look out for?
Oh yeah. So I got some stuff coming up. I got some projects and stuff. I'm working on my next album right now, Reality 2. So stay on the lookout for that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have everything. I got most of the songs done, but I gotta release them out the proper way. And and yeah, stay tuned for me and Ray Measy. We're gonna be doing a little some more skits. We're gonna do some more stuff, some more comedy, as well as stuff with my video business. Working with some of these talented artists out here in LA. Working on the next best star. Getting these videos popping. And as far as me, like I say, Stretch Lex, be on the lookout. You never know. You might see me down there in No Jumper.
Most definitely, man. How do you want your music and public persona to evolve in the coming years?
I wanted to evolve in a conscious way to where people are, taking more consideration as far as building themselves up, making sure that their life is on track, making sure that they are focused, driven on their purpose, and that they're fulfilling their needs. Taking care of their family, handling business. You know what I mean? That's what I want my music to reflect. I want it to reflect however you got to get it out the mud, and you know what I mean, and do it for a good cause. Don't just be up there playing. Be up there for a cause. Make sure that you know you're doing you're using your powers for good, and
For
that's what I want to
sure.
reflect in my music.
Yeah. And what message would you say you hope your listeners take away from your remixes and freestyles?
Always be yourself. Don't ever change. Don't ever switch up for nobody. Continue to be yourself. That's what got me this far. A lot of people said it was silly, it was jokey, whatever. But hey, I'm in the building with all the real ones. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, stay true to yourself, be a real one, and don't conform to anybody else. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't compare yourself. Just focus on you, and you're gonna get it.
Most definitely. Stretchy, man, I appreciate you for taking the time. You're welcome back
Yeah.
anytime. Yeah, I love this conversation.
All right. Right on, brother.
Love the work you're doing, man. Thank you.
And what's your brand? What's your brand again? Media Glover?
Ryan Glover Media. So like
Ryan?
yeah, on Instagram is at Media Glover, and then on YouTube, Ryan Glover 5129. But yeah, Ryan Glover Media. So like I interview like different public figures, and just like, it's positive. I do a lot of like work in like the black community, and like, try to like, support black excellence. I would say that's like
Yeah.
the main focus. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Right on. Shout out to Brian Glover Media.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.